All you got to do is just think about what you want, describe it, and let the machine just do everything for you. What's up, everyone? Aron here, Editor-in-Chief of ASC Labs. In this episode, I want to talk about something that's changing the way we build software. It's called vibe coding. That's right. You just need to chill out and vibe, man. That's all there is to it. At least that's what people are talking about, right? I'll explain what it is, why it matters, and how I actually rebuilt the entire ASC Labs website with a tool called Cursor. Let's dive into this. Vibe coding is a term that came out of the AI-assisted dev world. It means building software just by describing what you want, iterating with AI, and letting it fill in the blanks. Instead of micromanaging every line of code, you're guiding the intention, the vibe, and letting the tooling handle the scaffolding, layout, and logic. All of this is done by having a conversation with the AI agent. When I say conversation, I mean it. You could think of the AI agent as an AI person that can understand things reasonably well. You know, it's more about shaping the feel of what you're building and less about grinding through that boilerplate. But it isn't without its caveats. Think of it like building something with an AI co-pilot. You're the creative director. You steer the product vision. And the AI is this super-powered pair programmer. This way of working feels faster and way more creative. And that's where tools like Cursor actually come in. So what is Cursor? Cursor is a native AI code editor. It's built on top of VS Code, but it's deeply integrated with models like GPT-4 or Gemini or Claude. You can highlight a function and say, hey, refactor this, or make this more readable, or, convert this entire thing to TypeScript. And it just does it. But more importantly, it remembers your entire project. It understands your structure, your files, and even the way the application flows. It actually lets you have real conversations with the code that's being written. That's the magic in all this. Cursor is less like a text editor and more like a creative partner, which makes it perfect for vibe coding. Now let's talk about ASC Labs. I wanted to rebuild the ASC Labs website. The old one, completely outdated, it needed a refresh and an update. I had a few goals in mind. Make it fast, keep it minimal, feature my video podcasts and the short form videos that I've been doing. Works great on mobile and desktop. And most importantly, I did not want to spend weeks developing it. This was the perfect opportunity to vibe code the entire rebuild. Step 1, I described what I wanted. In Cursor, I opened a new agent window and got down to business. It was something like, hey man, build a clean tech media site for a podcast and video series. It'll use the YouTube API to grab the latest videos from a specific YouTube channel. That's it. No wireframes, no technical specs, just a minimal description to get me started. Cursor parsed that and then created a project using React, Vidi, and Tailwind CSS and scaffolded the entire thing. All of these technologies are technologies that I know of. I've never actually used, though. And I didn't have to write any of the boilerplate. From there, I just chilled out and vibed. I'd say things like, make the site theme be dark and red, or add a video player page that plays the video right on the website. And you know what? Cursor handled it all. If something looked off, I highlighted it and typed, fix this layout on mobile. It adjusted the CSS and the structure, just like that. This is what vibe coding actually looks like in practice. You describe the experience, the AI translates it into working code. It wasn't perfect, but I was in the flow, man. I wasn't Googling. I wasn't debugging things for hours on end. I was shaping and iterating and quickly. If I did this a few years ago, it would have taken me hours to get the build environment set up and the boilerplate all up and running. It would have taken me probably a couple of days to just get to that point. However, the entire rebuild in this case only took basically a weekend. And really, it was only like an hour or two of actual work and then just thinking about what I actually wanted to achieve. And that is because I can go from idea to execution very quickly. And I did not need to write all the boilerplate or all the support functionality. All I focused on was what I wanted out of the application. It didn't feel like cheating. It felt like collaborating. I was still driving. I was still editing some code. I was still making design and architecture decisions. But Cursor let me move fast and stay focused on the end goal. To hammer this point even further, I want you to check out ASE Publishing. I built 2 Android games from scratch using vibe coding. Are they really in-depth games? No, not at all. But as a way to understand this new AI agent reality, it was an eye-opening experience. Create an Android application using Flutter that challenges people to solve basic math questions. I have no idea how to write Flutter apps, but Cursor happily built 80% of the boilerplate and the code to get things going. All I needed to do was fill in the finer details of what I actually wanted. Both of those games are on the Play Store right now. Check them out. As an aside, I'm not an actual engineer. I might have a master's degree in engineering, but I am not a software programmer. I don't like doing code. My focus in my career has been in product management. We're the folks that figures out what our customers and the market wants, and we work with engineering to build that. These new AI tools allow me to be far more flexible without engineering than I ever thought was possible even a few years ago. Now let's talk about the flip side, because vibe coding isn't perfect, and it's really important to call that out. You can't just trust the AI to get it right all the time. If you don't understand what the code is doing, you will run into problems. There were moments during the rebuild that the AI just gave really terrible logic, or it created components that looked good, but I actually couldn't use them in other places. Sometimes it even hallucinated APIs or even misunderstood how React's state management worked. What if I had just accepted that output without actually checking it? The whole thing would have fell apart. And that's the trap. AI helps you move fast, but it also can send you into a rabbit hole of bugs and sheer weirdness. So here's the rule. Use vibe coding to accelerate, not replace your understanding. The AI is your assistant. You are still the architect. You are responsible for what ships. When you use it that way, vibe coding becomes a superpower. You can take a blank folder, a rough idea, and have a working MVP in hours. That's what I did with ASE Labs. That's why I believe this workflow is the future. AI should be a force multiplier, not a replacement for people. So, if you've been curious about AI development tools, give Cursor a try. Open a new repo. Open the AI agent and just say what you want to achieve out of a project. See how far you can get. And most importantly, stay in the loop. Don't let the AI write code that you don't understand. And remember, your partner is just chilling with you, man. All you got to do is just think about what you want, describe it, and let the machine just do everything for you. Isn't that the wave of the future, man? I think that about wraps it up for this episode. If you want to check out the new ASE Labs website, head on over to aselabs.com. And if you're experimenting with vibe coding, let me know what you're building. Drop me a line or send a carrier pigeon. Let's all put our shades on and feel the good vibes. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.